We on? We live?
Is this thing on?
Just the boys?
It's the
Cardo,
boys club,
Cardo?
baby.
I know, right? We're about to go live. We live? All right. Here you go.
The ongoing series about the life of the people touched by the love of the Pacific. Here are their stories. This is Highway 54.
Yo, happy Sunday, everybody.
What up, man?
What up, man? Welcome to
It's just there's no everybody, bro. It's just me and you.
Everybody just us. And Ashley, I see Ashley just joined us. Thank you for always tuning in as we await. Some people are going to be late. Carla is going to be here, I think so, and Carlo. Anyways, what's going on? Highway 54 with, I guess, just me and Kellen today.
Man, listen, it's all good, bro. We'll keep this thing. We keep this thing fucking rolling.
Right. Well, last Sunday was kind of unusual because I was in LA and I was testing for my state board, which is my esthetician. So for those of you guys, I really, really advertise and promote trades. Trade schools. So, I came from a long line of barbers in my family. So I went to barber school, and then barber school, they taught us a little bit about facials. So technically I can't do barber facials. And then, so I went to esthetician school. So I passed that, and like a 9-month journey, I did that. So it's not hard, but not easy. Not easy, but not hard. I'm sorry. But there's a lot of chemicals and skin and anatomy and all that shit you gotta learn. So now I can do facials, spa facials. I can do deep tissue. I can do chemical peels. Just keep you healthy. Anyways, so there's a practical. There's someone you gotta do procedures, and there's a proctor that tests you and then watches you and shit. So like I had like 9 procedures, and then there's a written test. So I've done it before, so I wasn't too nervous, but still nervous. Anyways, I'm a California licensed esthetician and barber, and right now I'm working on my massage therapist license.
First of all, so I want to say congratulations to you.
Yeah.
All right, so what I'm saying, round of a fucking applause for that.
Thank you.
Secondly, I'm a fucking child, so you keep saying you give facials now, bruh, and I can't. I would be remiss if I didn't make. Yeah, you're talking about you nervous giving facials and shit, bro. Like, come on, man. That's why I had this little fucking mischievous smile on my face. I'm trying to be. I'm happy for your awards and your accolades, but yeah, I'm immature as shit. Okay,
right, so no. I get what you're saying. No, but see, what do you call it? The past 10, 20 years now, social media has like really upgraded and highlighted the industry. Well, the health and beauty and wellness. A lot of people working
Absolutely.
out, people taking care of themselves, people taking massages. You got like Dr. Bo Hightower cracking people's bones and shit like that. So it's a great industry to get into. I think people are now, especially with mental health issues, going, kind of being the forefront issues of other problems. I think people are starting to take care of themselves more, and so I don't necessarily going to be the one who's going to be doing the service, but I'm gonna at least I know the system. I know how to do it, and I hire other people to do it. So that's my kind of my goal is to have my own little spa ish, barber salon.
What you're saying is, with mental health awareness and all that shit, you plan on giving more facials than ever.
Exactly.
That's basically what I'm hearing you say.
Well, also, for our kind of culture, Black and Asian, we don't tend to age really fast during certain ages. And so we tend to take care of ourselves more often than most people. But as we get to a certain age, right, they say like Asians don't raisin, but by the time they hit 60, right, 60, 70, we start getting accelerating. Yeah, yeah. So you got to take care of yourself and, take care of your skin, take care of your mind, relax, stress. Even right now, I mean, the industry right now is bouncing back. And so a lot of people are making buku money and and being very popular as the Instagram influencers, the barbers, the hairstylists, in the Black community, that industry is like multi-billion-dollar worth of products, hair,
Hair
skin.
care for sure.
Oh yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah, especially hair care. So, but men too, there's so many types of kind of haircuts you can give, not just the boring, fade, skin fade haircuts. Everybody now the mullets are back, right? Like I told you.
Mullets are back. Not for Black folks, but yes, the people are rocking mullets again.
I don't know, man. In Texas,
Who's
they got the South.
Oh, dog, that Southside
South
fade.
side.
Oh my god, that shit is trash. It is so trash. Yes,
Yeah.
you're right. You're absolutely right. That is the Black man's version of a mullet.
Yep, they got the South
That
side
is-
haircut. They got the haircuts. Anyways, the females has always been, beauty has been a priority for them, but men are getting into it now, man. You got everybody growing the beards now and the types of beards and the fade. What I don't like, and you tell me if you get this, enhancements to your hairlines.
Bro, that's whack.
Do you get that? That
Fuck
nice.
no, I don't get no, dog. I listen. And you know what? I gotta say, blessings to my genes. All right, like I'm fucking 36. I got all my hair. I don't have any grays. There's like a gray here or there or whatever, but nothing crazy. So I can't complain, and it's hard for me to talk shit about somebody who wants to get their line enhanced and all that shit. But I did have a barber one time. He did that. He put. I heard him do the little spritz. It was like he did some little shit, and then he did my line, and my line was fucking immaculate, like truly like Steve Harvey-esque, the best, dopest fucking line I've ever had in my life.
Right.
And I was sitting there, I was going to the Kevin Hart stand up in Portland that night, so I was like, I was happy, I was fucking, this is dope, man. I'm at the show though, clowning, we're drinking, laughing and shit. I'm sweating. Next thing I know, I got some shit coming down my fucking head. My homie's like, he's like, bro, you got some black paint on you, and I was like, what?
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, you got some little black. And I got the rubbing like this. I was like, what the fuck is this? Like, I'm tripping. Come to find out, dude, the barber, he does that literally with everybody, all of his clients. He basically does the little edge to create so he can get the line even crispier than it looks like, because naturally, as you get older, everybody's hairline just a little bit different. And my shit was probably creeping back a little bit, And yeah, he did me like that. I told him, bro, don't ever do that shit again. That was embarrassing as fuck, man. Had me at this thing, paint dripping down my goddamn face and shit.
A little spray paint.
Yeah, hit me with the little wisp. Like, nah, bro. If it gets that bad, I'll go bald on these motherfuckers. Fuck it.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I mean, not everybody wants a lineup. I don't get lineups because my hairline's different, even since I was young. So I don't, one's going this way, one's going that way. So I don't get lines up. But anyways, I mean, I know there's a need for it. Like, say you have a photo shoot that day or next tomorrow. I get that. But like you said, yeah, you're right. You start sweating, rain happens, all that stuff will
Yeah.
just float down, and you take a shower, it's gone.
It's honestly like men doing that kind of shit, that kind of man, they can't get mad at like, remember back in the day where like girls would like stuff their bras and shit like that, or girls now they wear booty pads, they wear the ass pads, make it look like the booties are fat, right?
Yeah,
it's mischievous. You know what I'm saying? It's actually quite fucking devious. But I had a girl tell me once that she felt like that about beards. She felt like men, they wear a beard, it's like it's a makeup for men. And I was like, I don't agree with that, because a beard is actually natural, right? Like you grow it, it's a normal, natural thing. But she was saying, a lot of not very attractive men, they get a beard and they look better. Drake, for instance, the rapper Drake. You look at Drake without a fucking beard. I'm a Drake fan. I love Drake's music. I love this shit. But Drake without a beard, he looks like a fucking earthworm.
It does.
Drake with a beard, he looks more appealing to women.
Yeah.
I imagine. I think he's a better looking dude with a beard.
Who's the notoriously one of those rappers or celebrities that wear it all the time? They wear that paint, that little
DJ Khaled.
Yep, like
DJ Khaled,
number one
all the fucking time.
Yeah.
There's a lot of these motherfuckers.
Like Pete Diddy, whatever name, Sean Combs. He's starting to wear it now because he's gray, but he's starting. LeBron James.
Yeah. LeBron. LeBron did his whole front line, boy. He might have a lace front now. His shit. Yeah. It's Kevin Hart. He colors his shit.
He colors it.
Yeah. During quarantine, he was letting it be gray for a while, and everybody's like, "Oh my god," and then he started coloring his shit again.
DJ Envy. Yeah, he does. Yeah.
Who said DJ Envy? Where'd you see that at?
DJ Envy.
DJ Envy does do that. DJ Envy from Breakfast Club. He does.
He's getting old. He's getting old. Probably Charlamagne the God too. He's getting up there.
Charlamagne doesn't have any fucking hair. Charlamagne's bald as shit. What are you talking about? Yeah, Charlamagne's rocking the baldy.
Yeah. They're getting old now, man. I know. Getting that paint on.
Listen, I mean, we're all gonna get old, man. The idea is just aging gracefully. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can look good as you age, right? You can be in shape. You might lose your fucking hair. Okay, that's kind of part of the process. Or you might go gray. It's okay. You can still be beautiful and look good. You ain't gotta get sloppy.
But what's the new thing too is guys, we've always had toupees, but these new toupees coming out, especially with the black folks, man, they look really good. They look.
Who's rocking the toupees? What toupees?
They shave like Steve, the little horseshoe thing.
You got the Carl Winslow.
Yeah, and then they pat some hair down. I don't know what kind of fiber it is or whatever, and they shave it. It look good, man. It looks really good.
Would you use it? Would you do it?
I'm not.
Be honest.
If I come to that point, I'm not totally bald yet. I'm getting there.
You got that convertible.
I would do it.
Yeah.
I would do it. I don't think it's going to be like a permanent thing, but like, I have an event going on for the next couple of months or a week, whatever. I'll probably rock it because it's an upkeep. You can't just like leave it on forever.
Yeah, I did this thing like every now and then with my hair right now because I'm growing it out. I got the like flat top type of shit going, and it's fucking like every now and then I'll post something. I'll be like, "Yo, cut it or keep it." And every time I do it, it's literally like only bald dudes are telling me to cut it. Like I was like, "Oh, you motherfuckers want me to look like y'all?" That's all that shit is. What happened?
Yeah, they're getting sick. No, it's Carla. That was Carla. That's right there. Carla, waiting for you. But no, yeah, it's getting good. I mean, I'd pay some money because look, there's a difference between having hair and no hair for a lot of people. I mean, you age like you drop 10 years when you have the right hair on top of your head.
Right.
For a lot of people, so it's all girls do it all the time. They wear wigs. We don't say.
So you're saying fuck it. So you say women don't make fun of men who wear toupees because you motherfuckers wear wigs. Yeah. Is what you're telling me.
Well, here's a problem. And Mama Penny and who else? Who's else out there? Ashley, tell me, if you were say dating a guy, handsome motherfucker, whatever, and all of a sudden he goes home and does this.
Pull it to the scene with the ceiling missing. Took that motherfucker off. That convertible.
He gained 10 years.
His shit down. His shit down. Took that bitch out.
Took off his teeth like this and said, "What would you do?"
Oh, bruh. I mean, come on, man. When you put it like that, ain't nobody gonna be. That's not a panty dropper. Let's put it like that. You have to do that shit in private, okay? You gotta do that shit in private. Like, you might be able to come out of the bathroom with that motherfucker off.
Yeah, you got half a head. You got a half a hair.
Like you got fucking scalped in this bitch.
I know. I got glue all stuck and all that. I don't know. As a girl, I'm not sure. A guy, we already kind of like know. Like a lot of go, oh yeah, really nice hair. I bet you it's a wig.
Yeah.
Most 80% of the time, yeah, it was a wig or whatever it's on.
I'll be real with you, man. I'm weird about that kind of shit. Like when girls, listen, be you, be beautiful, rock whatever the fuck you want to rock, but don't come over and let when the motherfucking eyelashes fall off. You know what I'm saying? You got that motherfucker in the middle of the floor or fuck like a fake ass nail, and it's just I don't know why I've had that happen before, and that shit fucks me up, bro. Like it literally, like, hold up, man. Like you couldn't even feel it because it's not part of you, so you're fucking. You couldn't feel that eyelash just fucking dangling on that motherfucker, you know, and it falls off in the damn bed, and you got this goddamn horsetail, you know, in your shit, or this thick ass Lee press on nail. I don't know, man. It's do what you do. I'm not knocking women who wear fake eyelashes. It looks beautiful. It really does, but make sure the shit looks at least realistic. Fake the fuck out of me. You know, what I don't know isn't going to hurt me. I don't care. Just make it look real. But you got them big ass, you seen them big ass eyelashes people wear. Yeah. You know that, like you look at me like, girl, my eyelashes fake as shit. Stop.
It is. You can tell.
Stop.
If you know what you're looking for. I can tell now because I've done it before.
Because you out here giving facials.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? All day. Well, look, a lot of people are not just guys and girls, but are into, like, you know, it's a moneymaker for a lot of people. You know, these Instagram influencers, these Snapchats, these Vines. Oh, not Vines, TikTok. You know, they have a lot of makeup. A lot of people doing these clay makeup. You know, those Chinese viral videos where they have an entirely different nose.
They peel your whole shit off.
They peel the whole glue, whatever it is, like clay or whatever it is. Well, right. I mean, so here's our goes kind of segues into our next topic here. What's happening virally? I think it's been happening for many years, but more often now. Students advertising themselves on rich men or women on sugar daddy website. Yeah, the controversial site Seeking.com allows people to make financial arrangements with high net worth men. Students are advertising themselves on sugar daddy websites as an alternative to getting part-time jobs to pay their way through university, as it has emerged. Some of them say they're looking for intellectual conversations in exchange for a fee, while others say they want to find a person who can help them financially in a way that is suited to them. What do you guys think about that?
Make your motherfucking money. Make your money. Listen, there are women out here giving that shit away to multiple people for free. I am not going to be mad at anybody who's doing it for money, bro. I'm just not. You know, honestly, and not to, you know, say this is the same as prostitution, but prostitution is the oldest occupation in fucking human history, right? Like that's been a thing for a very long time. I mean, like back in the fucking caveman days, they just give away rocks and shit. Like, you give me some rocks, build me this fucking house, I'm gonna give you some coochie, whatever. I'm not mad at women who are doing this. You know what I'm saying? Like, people are going, they kind of trick anyway. Like, dudes they're gonna be buying people shit, you know, spending money, doing all this shit. If you know it's transactional and it's upfront, you have two consenting adults. This old ass man, he wants to hang out with this little, I don't want to say little girl, this young woman, and she wants to get her college paid for. I'm not fucking mad at her. OnlyFans, I'm sitting there like this. OnlyFans, I don't get mad at any woman doing her motherfucking OnlyFans. As a matter of fact, if I had a chick, I'd be telling her, you know what? You want to make some extra money? Do you a OnlyFans? I'll fucking help you run the account. We good. Yeah. I'm not mad at it, bro. Like, seriously, they do more for less. A lot of motherfuckers. So
true.
Yeah, I know you feel some type of way about it. I already know.
I mean, do you? I mean, I'm not. Who am I to be judging someone who wants to do in their lives, right? I mean, you're an adult, above 21 years old, whatever, 18 years old. I mean, you're a consenting adult. You know what you want to do, but we know people who paid their way through school through, you know, having a sugar daddy, and you know, most sugar daddies are either divorced a couple times,
Or just some creepy motherfuckers. So let's
or
be honest.
at the end of their at the end of their years, and they just got so much money. Hey, it makes them both happy as long as whatever, man. But my thing is with you know what you're getting into. If you're the one approaching a sugar daddy, know what you're getting into.
Right.
Not,
Yeah.
not everything's for free. So.
Well, I mean, that's the idea behind the sugar daddy, though. Like they're clearly going to be giving up something for something. Bob Kraft is the owner of the motherfucking New England Patriots. He was going to Atlanta to a fucking massage parlor getting hand jobs, bro. He's a multi-billionaire. These dudes, like this dude could have flew in anybody, anywhere to come do these kind of fucking things. There's a lot of business out there, basically, is what I'm saying. There's a lot of these old ass motherfuckers who would hide chicks in the basement. Oh God. Oh no. Sugar daddies are scary. I mean, I guess it depends. You get you a Bob Kraft motherfucker who will pay for whatever. That's one thing. But yeah, I mean, definitely, be smart about it if you're gonna do it.
On the flip side, guys are doing it too.
Oh.
Now, oh yeah, Japan. I mean, I don't speak from experience, but Japan, they got sugar mamas. A lot of sugar mamas.
Look, I mean, let's go. I'm with it. So okay. Let's say you and Rose aren't together. Yeah. Right? You're a single man. You're single, Floyd. You look good, man. Yeah. You have this 70-year-old woman. 70 years old. Yeah, she's 70, but she's like, we're talking like Cher. We're talking motherfucking Tina Turner. She's bad.
Like Sophia Loren? Like Sophia Loren kind of thing?
Yeah. Okay, whoever. Okay. Just name a 70-year-old.
Yeah.
She's 70. Yeah, she's 80, but she's looking better. She said, hey, Floyd, I'm gonna pay you $100,000 a year. You gotta come over, you know what I'm saying? You gotta stay the night with me, 3-4 nights a week. I want you to, cook for me, massage me, give me facials, the facials that you've worked on,
Yeah.
And then every now and then, you got to do some freaky deakiness. 70-year-old woman, you got to think about things, but you got to spend 3 to 4 nights a week with her. So you can't be finding you a young woman. You're not going to have time. You would to do some other things, but you really don't. Would you do it for a year?
Sure.
No, don't just say sure. I mean, come on.
I mean, if I'm at the point in my life, because for me, I've got some years in my age, and I've gone through things, and for whatever reason, I am going to be with Rose forever. But I mean, for whatever reason, I wasn't for Rose. Hypothetical, yeah, I'd do it.
That motherfucker said Eartha Kitt. Yeah. Eartha Kitt. Yeah, Boomerang.
So, no. What's her name? The supermodel with Eddie Murphy.
That was Eddie Murphy.
Yeah, the black model, man. She's from the wife of not Billy Idol. Fuck, you know what I'm talking about?
You're talking about goddamn.
She was in oh my God. That movie he was in where he's like slick and oh God, what's her name?
Are you talking about Naomi Campbell?
Almost her, but the other one.
No, Chanel. No, who the fuck? Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about.
I do. I can't think of it. Grace Jones. God damn it. Grace Jones. Yes.
So Grace Jones came up to you?
Yeah. Oh, shit. What's the question? What am I doing for free? I do it for free.
You do it for free?
For free. It'd for free. Huh? Free 99.
Wait, who? Iman and Grace Jones, different, right? Those two girls, two different girls.
Yeah, well, no, I think. Listen, I don't know why you keep popping them up there. Now I'm confused. This is why we need somebody. We need a Googler.
Yeah,
we need a Googler. We need Steve Bartlett. Steve has all the fucking information.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think it's not unusual, but I think there are older women, who of age, having companions of a younger age. It happens a lot. It happens. I know in Japan it does. Big time.
Only thing I'm not doing foot rubs. I wouldn't do foot rubs.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know you. See, I know you do that. I wouldn't do that, especially them 70-year-old toes, because then the motherfucking them corns and them bunions are just way more pronounced. Their feet are dry as shit.
Yeah.
I couldn't do it. I can't fuck with feet like that, bro.
Well, that's $100,000.
Yep, she gonna have to have me do some other things, but it won't be rubbing her feet. I don't even want them nubs on me. I'll put some socks on, some aloe vera.
At the end of the day, you know, it's all a personal choice. Sugar daddy, sugar mama, whatever you got to do you. But just understand what you're getting into, man. You know the price to pay when it happens, when you need a sugar mama or sugar daddy.
Says she got the Wesley Snipes fade.
Yeah, Grace Jones. All right, let's go here. This one is unusual. All right. Doctor warns against, for whatever reason, it's a trend. Doctor warns against wearing trend of using toothpaste as lubricant.
The fuck kind of shit is that? Are you kidding me?
Unfortunately, a doctor has urged the public not to use toothpaste as lubricant after several people shared their painful experiences in social media. Over the last few months, I guess during COVID, a number of posts have cropped up on Reddit and TikTok detailing people's experiences of using toothpaste as lubricant during masturbation or sex, and they sound incredibly painful. You would think that most people would know better to try this out for themselves at home, but apparently not. Guys, without really being an expert, but do you know what's in toothpaste? It's like a bleach, right? Bleach.
There's like you can put, if you put toothpaste like on a pimple, right? Your fucking pimple will go away. Like your little acne and shit will go away. If that shit's eating off the skin like that, it's probably very acidic, and it's probably not going to be good if you get down there and you getting shit real raw and it's getting into that motherfucking bloodstream. That can't go right.
No, it can't go right.
These motherfuckers eat Tide Pods though, so you know, come on. This doesn't surprise me.
One Reddit will say, it may cause mild chemical burn, the doctor said, blistering on an area of sensitive skin. Because, like in toothpaste, it dries your skin.
Dries you the fuck out.
Yeah. These products are specially designed for oral use and can disrupt the balance of the vagina flora, which might lead to thrush of bacterial viruses going to. So if you're using it as a lubricant, I don't even know why would you use... What would go through your mind saying, "Oh yeah, you got toothpaste? I can use that."
Yeah, I'm about to put that on your fucking Jimmy. Get this thing cracking. That's some weird shit.
Yeah, lubricants usually have silicone and it's water based and it's designed to intend to use during sex. And it's the best products to invest in. I have no idea where they got toothpaste come from.
I wish it like gave us, like told us at least like the town these people like were in, or the racial makeup of those that did this.
Oh man. So Malaysia.
It was in Malaysia?
Malaysia.
Are you fucking serious?
I guess in Asia, I don't know, Southeast Asia, they put in toothpaste.
Oh shit. They out here wilding.
Spanking it off at work with toothpaste. Because they always carry toothpaste, right? Most people would carry toothpaste, but don't carry lotion.
Wait, carry toothpaste where?
To work.
Who carries toothpaste to work?
A lot of people do that. To brush your teeth, man. You don't do that?
No, I mean, I keep motherfucking like floss picks and shit, but I don't take a toothbrush with me to work. I mean, I'll come home to brush my teeth. I don't take a tooth. You take a toothbrush with you or toothpaste with you? Where you go?
I have it in my office, before.
Okay.
Gargle, a little gargle.
Yeah, I mean, I guess like when I don't have an office anymore. Like my house is my office, so.
Oh yeah.
That would be the problem there. I guess, if I had an office, I didn't think about that part of it.
Well, guys, look, tell everybody. I'm sure our age is not doing that. I'm thinking about these young 30s, almost 30, young late 20 people are doing toothpaste. I don't know where they're getting that from.
That sounds like somebody just trying to fuck somebody up. Like you're like, oh yeah, I thought like a girl getting ready to break up with her boyfriend. Like, I'm gonna jack you off with this toothpaste, you cheating motherfucker, And then she's like, oh, I thought it was gonna be good. Burns his fucking dick off.
I guess that's an Asian thing. Oh yeah, in Japan. Well, yeah.
Yeah.
That's true. That's kind of true almost.
What's that?
they because of the type of food that we eat, especially in Korea, because we have the fermented cabbage, the kimchi, so we brush our teeth, and in Japan too, the bentos, all the food that we eat.
Mhm.
No, man, it could be everybody too. Because say you're eating spaghetti, your breath smell like garlic.
I'll say food is food. Like you don't want that shit stuck in your teeth all day. Period.
Mm.
But yeah, I thought you were talking about like walking around with toothpaste like in your fucking pocket.
Oh
Like
no,
wherever.
no, no,
I
no,
was
no.
like, that's weird. You're saying at your job place, boom, you
Yeah,
have.
yeah.
Yeah, I get that. Yes, I don't have an office. I haven't had an office in a while, so yeah, I haven't thought about that. Like home is the office.
All right. So, these gender reveals are getting out of hand. I think it's been, I think someone almost died. But anyways, man charged in gender reveal blast that rocked nearby towns. In New Hampshire, a man was charged Monday for explosive gender reveal party that was heard by nearby residents. In Massachusetts, Anthony Spinelli of Kingston was charged with disorderly conduct. Police said wasn't immediately known if he had a lawyer or a phone number. Anyways, police said he was in town and he purchased 80 pounds of tannerite. That's about 36 kilograms of it. And the family thought the quarry would be the safest spot to blow up the explosive, which is typically sold over the counter at as a target or firearm practice, police said. The problem is no injury, but the problem is it rocked the whole town. They thought it was an
Right.
earthquake. And it's for a gender reveal. I mean, dude, I don't understand going overboard on if you have a boy or a girl. I just
It's weird. It's quite weird. And honestly, I never understood why it became a thing. I'm of the like when I have my first kid, I don't want to know. I want to do old school, like fucking spank the baby. Is there balls or not? You know what I'm saying? Like I want to
yeah,
know in that moment. I don't know what. Yeah, I don't understand the gender reveal thing, and it was never a big deal to me. I won't be going to anytime soon or ever,
yeah.
because I'm not trying to get murdered at one because somebody brings a bunch of fucking dynamite. You can buy that shit at Target. Is that what you said?
No, they at a gun store. I think they use it as a target practice or something like that.
Oh,
Oh, yeah,
okay. I thought you said you can buy that fucking shit at Target. I was like,
for target practice. For target practice.
okay.
So, but I think he bought too many. Like he bought a
Well,
lot.
clearly,
80 pounds.
clearly.
80 pounds. So yeah, but I mean, I get the whole idea of like oh, you open up what do you call it, the smoke, whatever, or the glitter, and it pops up and it's blue or pink. I get that. But I think people are taking far with fireworks and shit and fucking explosives and
I mean, I don't get that because what's the deal? You open up the blue or the pink, like you're more excited because you had a boy than you a girl or whatever. Are we
yeah,
gonna? Is that what we're doing? Like, fuck it.
right.
I just want a healthy baby. That's all I'm worried about. Like, let this motherfucker be healthy. Shit. Tell me that.
Yeah, I don't know. I different strokes for different people. I can see the you call it the excitement of doing it, but like I said, if you just take it too far, I mean that's just
Yeah, blow up your fucking town to tell everybody you're having a boy.
yeah.
Shit.
Anyways, do you guys, but just be safe out there, man. Not knocking it, gender reveal, but
Oh,
just
I'm knocking it. I don't give a fuck. I'm knocking it. It's corny. It's so corny.
oh man. All right, so here's one thing, man. Poor or not poor. I feel bad for our seniors or even our school age kids, because they lost a year. A lot of kids lost a year of being in school. We went through a lot of our for me, a lot of great memories in middle school and high school, especially high school. And my niece was a senior this year, and so right now they have a lot of senior events going on. But so they have the option, right? Some schools have the option. You can either stay home, do Zoom, or go to school in person, right? So remote learners, and for example, in North Carolina high school excluded from prom, even if they were invited. So the backstory is for many students, prom is a pivotal high school memory, right? But for some people, plans had to celebrate a final time among friends were not permitted. I don't understand why. So they're saying like if you the in the prom, you have to be in school to attend, and those who opted out to be on Zoom or are not able to go to the prom. I just don't know where that's a problem. Why is that a problem? Why is that an issue?
Well, number one, it doesn't make sense. How are you excluded even if you were invited? That's an oxymoron. If you were invited, you're not excluded.
Yeah. Well, I guess some school
How,
districts are like careful about that. I'm not sure they're watching it.
I mean, yeah, it's ridiculous. I mean, the kids, it is. It just sucks that these kids lost an entire year. You have some kids who are in colleges and whatnot who are allowed to stay an extra year, but then you have kids coming in. So, like with sports and stuff, there's like going to be kids who are kind of like stuck in limbo because they have another year of waiting behind a certain. It's all kind of fucked up, man. Coronavirus has fucked up a lot of shit. But with this, obviously, that is a big time for those kids who have not gone to prom. I will say that. How was your experience in prom? And I'll tell you mine. Huh?
I had I went to 3 high schools. I went to Seoul American High in Korea. I went to George Dewey in the Philippines. And then I graduated finally in Ocean View, Guam. I went to 2 proms, of course, my junior and my senior. Both of them were like the best I've ever really great, good memories. And I never traded for the world. As I was junior prince one time. But yeah, it's just one of those things that you will regret. Like you should go, even if you don't have a date. You should go. Yeah.
Prom. What I'll say this: the dressing up and the pictures are the best part of prom. That was the best part of prom.
Yeah.
Once you got to prom, it was no different than fucking homecoming or any other dance. It was the same shit.
Yeah.
Dressing up was the best part, and you're taking your pictures and taking your pictures with your boys, taking your pictures with your girl, this and that. Like that's the best fucking part, taking the photos.
Yep.
I mean, truly. Yep. I don't remember shit else about prom. Like I just remember being like, oh, this feels like every other dance. But the fucking photos are the best part. And everybody needs prom photos. Like you need to be able to look back and be like, yeah, look at me, this is my prom date. Whatever. She's fine as fuck now and has 18 kids or whatever,
Well, no, yeah, that being with your friends that you grew up with, or you with that year, just laughing. We're all talking about pre cell phones, pre everybody got these smartphones and all that. So what we did is we actually hanged out, we talked, we made memories, we drove somewhere, fortunately we drank, but by the time I graduated high school, I was 19 years old. So I was able to drink in Guam. But yeah, those memories you'll never take back. You can never get back if you don't ever attend. So like this year, so basically, I'm reading into this article and say it didn't say they can't go to prom. Emails were sent out to students saying remote learners would be excluded from extracurricular activities. So there are a lot of students who stayed on Zoom, so they weren't allowed to do like these clubs and sports, and I guess that includes prom.
It did include prom?
Yeah, I mean, it's extracurricular activities, right?
I mean, I guess I don't know. I guess I need to look at the article because that shit doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
The communication was well on the front side of the school year. Oh, so I guess not everybody read it. During the school year, they told everybody like, hey, if you stayed on Zoom, certain all extracurricular activities involving the schools, you would not be able to attend. But I don't see why that would be a problem. Right? They're going to school. They're going to school just like everybody else, learning the same thing. They're just not in person, right?
Right. Yeah, that didn't make any damn sense.
Yeah, I mean, as say we're parents and that happened to your kids. I mean, what would you think? Like, I don't understand.
Yeah, no, I'd be upset if I was a parent. My kid would be going to prom, or fuck it, we'd have our own prom. Throw a party at the crib.
Pretty much.
Everybody's wearing masks or showing your vaccination card.
All right, moving on. All right, so did you ever get spanked, bro?
By my parents? Yeah, I got that ass tore out the frame. What are you talking about? Shit, numerous times. But you know what? I never got a spanking that I didn't deserve. I will say that. I never got one of them like, oh, mom came home pissed off from work or something, and then I'm getting my ass whooped. You know what I'm saying? Like I did shit. I deserved every ass whooping I got.
I got
Every
spanked.
single one. You got spanked. You got beat. You got that look like you got beat.
I got spanked. I got well, was a slipper, a switch, whatever, belt, a hand. I got spanked. I was like totally a bad kid, but I was a very rebellious kid. I was the oldest too, so I had a lot of.
You ever have to pick a switch off the branch or off the tree? Like pick a branch off the tree to get whooped with?
But I got hit by a branch.
You got hit. You got hit with a broom, didn't you?
Probably a coconut tree. I don't know. It was a snake, something like that. So my question to everybody: is it rare for U.S. teachers to spank unruly children at school?
You know, we have schools in Missouri that do spankings, that do whoopings, and the parents have to okay it. They have to sign off on it. But there are schools in Missouri that I know for sure. I know people that got spanked at school. I know my mom wouldn't sign off on that shit though. My mom's not letting somebody else whoop me. Period.
What?
I know she would never. My mom would not have done that.
Carla, did you get spanked at school?
No, I didn't. Yeah, actually, I did. Never forget it. Yeah, it was in 3rd grade because I had punched a girl in the nose for cutting in front of me. So he just did like the paddle once, Mr. Gosley.
He paddled you, huh? Your parents were okay with that? They signed off on that shit, or what? You didn't have to sign off it back then. They just got to whoop your ass.
They don't have to sign off when I was coming up. They didn't have to sign up. It was
okay. You signed up for school. You signed up for ass whoopings, huh?
Right. Exactly. Yeah. And plus, I'm from the Eastern Shore of Maryland, and it's very still like old school. Yeah.
Well, the reason why I'm asking is a video of a Florida school principal using a paddle to spank a 6-year-old student has sparked an outrage online. There's a graphic video shot by the child's mother on her mobile phone last month. We see the student bent over a chair crying while she is paddled 3 times by the principal. It's an elementary school in Florida. Ms. Carter is now under investigation by the Hendry County School Board and the local sheriff office. But corporal punishment, paddling, spanking, or other forms of physical punishment is not permitted in Hendry County schools, but it is allowed in Florida and in other 19 states across the country. So even though it's allowed in the state, some counties can vote not to have corporal punishment.
That whole thing throws me off because like white people were the big ones, like they were like putting kids in timeout. Like that was like black culture, you was getting that ass whooped, right? Like that was just a normal thing. And then it seemed very common amongst white people, like put their kids in timeout and shit. So I was shocked when I saw that this principal, like people were like okay with people were okay with, you know, this woman whooping her when they're not even letting parents whoop their kids in most places. Like parents have gotten called, had child division services, you know, filed against, like complaints filed against them for whooping their own kids, and now we're okay with schools whooping our kids. I don't know. I'm confused on that. Like,
well, 19 U.S. states, mostly in countries in the South, currently allow corporal punishment.
Yeah, I know Missouri's one of them.
Yeah, so rules in each state vary regarding what type of paddle can be used, how hard the administrator are permitted to strike the child, and whether bodily injury to a student is permissible. Alabama, Texas, Louisiana, Mississippi, Georgia, Florida, and of course Missouri is one of them, are among the states where the practice is used. Now in Guam, Abigail just told me in some of my private schools that we have in Guam, there is corporal punishment. But the private school that I went to, I didn't see it. I wasn't a bad kid.
I don't agree with it.
You don't agree with it? Do you think that's more of a religious, like, cultural thing, or is that just the type of neighborhood that you're in?
I think it's a little bit of both, actually, because I do know they say spare the rod, spoil the child, like some people in the Bible, you know, they believe that. But also, from my experience, I didn't have to spank my kid, and she is fantastic. She is not, I think it's learned behavior. Like when you continue to like hit a child, and there's like I spank him and everything, and nothing's working, and it's like, oh, that's because before you even spank a child, a lot of times, you probably have like a conversation with them. But I think people just haul off and hit kids now. Um, I don't know. I don't agree with it though. I think I would have been a better child if I didn't get beat.
You think you would have been a better child if you didn't?
I think I would have been a better child. Yeah, I
Nah,
was bad as shit.
I mean, I'm okay.
Yeah,
No,
I say,
you're okay. But I was bad as shit when I was younger, and it was because I had ADHD. But they didn't treat that; they just beat my ass. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, yeah.
no,
And then when I got older and found out, I turned out fine after the fact. But I'm just like,
so the mass whoopings did work.
No.
I think it's like anything else, man. Different stuff works for different kids. My parents, when we came up, they would give us an option. We'd either get a whooping or you were grounded for the day, right? Like if you did some badass little fucked up shit, it was like, come inside, you can't play the rest of the day, or you get an ass whooping, you can go back out inside and play. They literally let us choose. And I always chose, let me get that ass whooped. I was cool with that. Let me get my swats and let me get the fuck on and go play. My brother would sit in the house all damn day. Then they got to a point where they started switching up. There was no more options. I got grounded all the fucking time because they realized like that worked better, grounding me. So
yeah, I agree with Rachel and Stefan. Nah,
they're talking about people at school though. They're talking about people at school. They're not talking about parents.
Yeah, people at school. But I mean, parents, they have a right to do really what they, choose to do with their kids. But I mean, for me, I didn't spank mine, and she turned out fine. But that's only because I did work in childcare for a long time, and they would always tell us to redirect the child's behavior. Mm-hmm. Which wouldn't work for these little motherfuckers that would go home and then come back. And we're redirecting their behavior, but their parents are doing something totally different. So when they come back, they're confused.
So I'd be interested to know how many kids that like shot up schools, how many of them were whooped or spanked, how many were put in timeout or just, or an abusive. I'd like to see the research done on that because I feel like a lot of them motherfuckers, and this is me speaking just completely opinionated. Haven't done any type of research on it, but a lot of them fucking kids look like they were the type of like, Billy, you're in timeout. Go lay down, or some shit. And then Billy was like back there talking to his friends like, fuck that bitch. I'm going to kill that bitch. And then Billy really did end up killing her ass or something later on. That's how they appeared. I don't know that to be true. I would love to see the research and the data done on that though.
Yeah, I totally agree. I mean, I'm just talking about experience and see, it's not I'm not saying it's our fault. Us as parents who thought, it's better to put them in timeout. It's better to make them our friends. I mean, it all depends on each student, but I feel like our generation is not as crazy, not as violent as these kids now growing up. You know what I'm saying? Like they feel like there's no consequences to their actions.
Nah, man. We came from the Columbine generation, bro. We came from the generation where they started shooting up fucking schools regularly. Or at least I did. You might be in the next generation, but
I was in that I was in high school when it happened. So
yeah, that's what I'm saying though. And those kids were in high school also. So that's of the same generation.
Columbine happened, Floyd?
I think so, right? Columbine was like
97, 98.
No,
98.
You couldn't have been.
No.
97, 98.
I was in college that time. Sorry. Yeah. Anyways, almost the same kind of teenager-ish, 20-something. Anyways, but I mean, you're right. I think because towards the 90s, they started to being, their minds are a little bit different. I don't know, man. To me, I approve corporal punishment to a point.
No, there's not somebody outside of our family that's going to ever. I don't have any kids right now, but when I have kids, there will not be anybody at a school putting their hands on my fucking kid. I will be assaulting somebody at that school if they put hands on my fucking kid. Period. Just letting that be known.
Yeah. I know corporal punishment in Catholic schools. We're known for that. So, but I wasn't a bad kid, so I never got
I feel
experienced.
like Catholic school was different because then you do like you hold out your hand and they did a ruler or something like that.
Yep.
Yeah, I
I
don't even want.
Yeah. But now it's like, you know, you see people like actually jacking up kids, throwing them to the ground and stuff like that. I don't, mm-mm.
Yeah,
no. That's different. That ain't corporal punishment. That's fighting. That's well,
Yeah.
because a lot of districts are, they have 20, 21, 22, 23-year old teachers teaching high school,
Mhm.
and that's way too close in the age of the kids.
dude.
So I
I
don't
told you
remember I don't remember that young, being my teacher. They're probably in their 30s, maybe.
they were though.
Yeah.
They were there. We had. I mean, we had at least again when I was in high school, we had some. And when I graduated college, if you have a college degree, for those of you listening, if you have a college degree and you're in between jobs, being a substitute teacher is one of the easiest jobs to pick up. And the cool
Mm,
thing about, 'cause I did it. And the
I
thing
was
about
just
substitute teaching is you just have to have a degree in anything, right? And you go up
mm,
there, they do the background checks, they do all this shit. You can pick your days you want to work, you can pick your ages, whatever. I did it for a little bit, man. They put me in high school for a week, right? And I'm in there, I'm 22, 23 years old, substituting high school students, right? And I'm in this like junior, senior math class and shit. And the girl's like, Mr. Carr, how old are you? Are you married? Do you have kids? All this shit. I was like, oh, I'm good. I'm good on this. I went to the administrator, the woman who did all the shit. And I was like, hey, I don't want to do high school anymore. I was like, too close in age. It's too much. You know what I'm saying? Like these 17, 18-year-old girls, nope, I'm good. I'm good. Get me out of here. She's like, I appreciate your honesty. And she told me straight up, she's like, nobody would actually just come out and say that. I was like, yeah, fuck yeah, I'm 23 years old. I'm a young dude. These girls, nope, I'm good. I'm good. I don't need to be in here. You got me
yeah,
fucked up. So
yeah.
keep me in elementary, junior high, and we cool.
I agree. Totally agree. But anyways, I to a point, I agree with corporal punishment. But yeah, I do a lot of communication with the parent. I mean, come on, we got some bad kids. You know,
There's some bad kids out
there's
here,
some
but
bad
like
kids.
you said, it starts at home. Like you can't. A lot of people can't really blame certain administrators, like teachers, when you don't do what you're supposed to do at home, and then you come in and somebody ready to fuck your child up because they hit you or you know called you a bitch or something like that. So yeah, I agree. But no, they do stuff like that.
Yeah.
So and you're not gonna let your child do it. So you know you out and about and no.
Oh, Columbine was
Yeah.
99. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
99, yeah.
I just joined the Air Force that time. So 98, 99. Yeah, I
Yeah.
thought
It was
I thought it was earlier.
yeah, I knew I was in 8th grade when that shit happened. So
Mm, mm.
Mm. Yeah, I was gone.
Yeah, I mean,
he was
and going into discipline. We're talking about discipline. Not just spanking, but just discipline. I mean, I guess you're right. I mean, discipline, it's different for every kid, but I don't know. I feel like discipline the past 20, 30 years has not done well. You know what I'm saying? We're not, I'm not old school kind of thing. I'm not here to be your friend. I'm your father. I mean, I don't have kids, but I have a lot of nieces and nephews. Like I'm not here to be your best friend. I'm here to be your father. And there's a certain point. That's how I believe it. So
yeah. I think there's got to be balance, man. Honestly, like with my mother, I can talk to my mom about anything under the sun, and it's been like that for a long time since I was young. I've been able to tell my mom anything, and
Mm.
you don't have that relationship unless that person is your friend. There's also that respect, you know what I'm saying too. Yeah, and it's like now, my mom and I'll have conversations or something, or even you see our text message thread and the shit we talk about or whatever. People would be like, "You talk like that in front of your mom?" Like, people will like try to attribute the fact that I cuss as if that is somehow me disrespecting my mother. And my mom would be the first one telling you. There's been times before I've told her a story and I've said something where I'm cussing the story. She will be the first one to tell me if what I say is disrespectful or disrespecting to her, right?
yeah,
I don't ever like. I think it's always weird when people are like, "Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not here to be your friend." No, you're not here to talk to them like one of your little friends. Like you're not going to disrespect your parent or talk just crazy to them. But there is a piece of that where a parent should be a friend, because if you don't have that type of relationship, your kid will be doing all kinds of shit that you would never imagine or would never know about. And if you don't want to know those kind of things, or if you don't want to have that kind of open, honest, transparent relationship, then go ahead. Don't be a friend. You don't have to be, but you won't know shit about your kid because they're going to hide everything from you. I'd rather have a relationship with my kid where we can speak freely and there's a mutual respect and a mutual trust. That's the reason why my relationship with my mother, it only gets better as we've gotten older. And it was great when we were young, and it's gotten better as we're older, just because we've always been able to be open about shit. My mom has told me a lot of shit about her own life that most parents probably don't tell their kids. And I think that's dope as fuck. And I'm thankful for that. My mom is one of my best friends.
That's how it's with my mom as well. We're the same way. And Ariel and I have that type of relationship. Although she does not cuss around me, and she can if she wants to, she just chooses not to. So I mean, that's completely up to her. But the day she did say the word bitch, I was like, word. I was like, my baby just said bitch. Wow. It was, and you have to really get Ariel mad, or she has to feel some type of way before you hear her say something like, But me, I use choice words sometimes, but it's not like you're talking to your mom, like, you know what, bitch, look. You're talking to her and you're kind of like, being yourself. But that's how I am with my mom. We can be ourselves. And but I do have one particular sibling that will say stuff like, really vulgar stuff. And that's different, It's going to another level.
Yeah, I mean, it honestly does. It depends on the established relationship. And again, at the end of the day, you want to have that open line of communication. I know that I can go to my mom about any fucking thing, and I know she's going to come at me, and like, obviously she's always going to have my best interest at heart, first and foremost. But I know I can go to her for advice for anything, because I'm not scared to reveal myself or who I am, my truest self. And as far as cussing is concerned, my mom is shit. Don't nobody cuss more than Penny. All right, I'm just gonna throw that out there. She don't get mad at me for cussing, because don't nobody cuss more than Penny. All right, and people say, "Oh, it's unlady." Like, no, man, my mom is she's a little OG shit.
Yeah.
I think with my relationship with my parents, it was it was my mom and that's my dad and I'm the son, and I think as I got older, I started to talk to my mom and dad heart to heart more often. Especially when I got into my own relationships with my significant other. So, but I didn't have that growing up. They were their mom and dad. And they disciplined me. They're the old school way. And my dad's the kind of really typical Asian guy. He didn't open up. He's not the guy to share or open his heart to you. You know what I'm saying? So, and if he did talk to me, it's just very specific advice. Sometimes demanding, and then of course disappointment, but it wasn't a point where he was my friend. Does it make sense?
Right.
But as I got older, in my 20s and 30s, then I started to become more of a friend to my dad and my mom, and saying a lot of stuff. But do I wish I had a more open relationship with my parents? Probably. I probably wouldn't get into the stupid shit that I did, but I was the oldest. I was the only boy for a long time until my brother came. So, like, I don't know. But it worked out for me. It just worked out for me. I had respect for my mom and dad, because if I did something wrong, I knew I was going to get spanked. That was a guarantee.
The interesting thing with that, and you're talking about dads, like my dad, for a long time, we didn't have the most open. We didn't have a great relationship for first, I'd say 18 years of my life, just being real. But it wasn't, so I went off to college, and then, my stepdad and I always had a good relationship. My dad and I didn't, but my dad ended up becoming one of my best friends. Like, another thing, like, I could talk to my dad about anything, and we laughed about every damn thing. You know what I'm saying? And that was cool. And after losing my dad, it's crazy how much it changed my relationship with my stepfather. And my stepdad and I always had a good relationship, but our relationship became more open, where we talk about emotions and feelings and things that we'd never talked about, because that was never really in his wheelhouse. That was never his thing. When I told him the night that my dad had a stroke and my dad probably wasn't going to make it, the way it impacted my stepdad after that, I don't know. It's cool. Like the conversations we have and the things he's told me since then, it's only made our relationship blossom because he realized like how much losing my dad, how much it impacted me and how it made me feel. And I think to some degree he started looking at it like, damn, how's Kellen going to feel after I'm gone? Are there going to be conversations that, you know, we left unsaid that I'm going to feel some type of way about, right? And so now we have those conversations, you know, we'll talk about feelings and emotions and, you know, depression, sadness, whatever shit that we've never talked about before, you know? So hopefully it doesn't take everybody to lose somebody for them to open up and have those open conversations. But sometimes that's exactly what it takes. But whatever gets you to that point, man, is it's well worth it. You know, just have that open dialogue, have those discussions, you know, it's good. It's healthy.
Yeah. And, you know, going back into like the schools here, I think, unfortunately, not everybody has the ideal, you know, home structure like we did, you know, or at least had a single parent that was, you know, able to discipline us or help us or guide us. And so when we talk about teachers, I was a teen center director for Yakota for a spell, and you know they gave us training on how to look into signs of abuse, you know, distress, suicide, and all that. And so, of course, it's we weren't babysitters. We were like their friends, their mom, their dads, their brothers, and all that. So you have to be very emotional to help out a kid. If you don't have an emotional tie, to me, if you don't have an emotional tie with a kid, why would the kid care? You know, why would the kid care to go to a party? Why would a kid care to volunteer? Why would a kid, you know, to do something for you, right? So I had to learn how to be emotionally tied to some of my kids because that's the only way I can help them to, you know, get their school grades up or to do better in basketball or to, you know, to not feel bad about their boyfriend or the girl or whatever things going on, you know? And so when you have teachers who are doing their job effectively, they have to be emotionally tied to these kids, right? And so if you have a kid who is unruly, I'm sure I think teachers are trying to figure out what is wrong with this kid. What's making him mad or she you know act out right. And so it gets tiring. You got like 30 kids, 20 kids, and they do this year and year, day in, day out. So what's the recourse? I mean, parents are not always there to help. You know, you can't just expel. I know James said to expel them, but that doesn't work out all the time because now they're going to a house that has no recourse of what they did, right? Because they don't have that guidance and that discipline. Because maybe the parent's working or they don't have a parent, whatever it is. So what does a teacher do besides teach? Spanking? I don't know. I mean, obviously
Yeah.
you're not spanking in high school, but you're talking about you know, middle
I mean,
school, elementary.
if you have a situation like Carla was saying, spanking for her, it didn't work. And that was by her own parents. It wasn't working. Same thing for me at home. My parents spanking me, that shit, I still acted out or did what the fuck I was going to do. It was when they started grounding me and taking things away from me. That's when it was like, oh, this is way far more effective. Having school administrators and teachers and things whooping children, it just, for me, just doesn't, it leaves a bad taste in my mouth. I'm not okay with that, no matter what their situation is at home. If anything, those kids, if they have a bad situation at home and they're acting out at school, I feel like they need to be loved on even more, you know? And I know that not everybody's got the patience for that, but maybe that's a position you create within schools, finding people maybe that's what guidance counselors are supposed to do. I'm not sure, but you create positions where people can give these kids the extra love and attention that they truly need. Because I don't think whipping them and I don't think expelling them is either the right choice either, especially kids that come from poor and impoverished communities. That those 2 meals a day that they get at school sometimes might be the only meals they get in a day. So you start expelling kids, then you know they're not eating, you know, or not eating well or decent or balanced meals. So I don't think kicking them out is the answer either. I mean, it's a tough position, but we're not going to say, hey, well, teachers, they're teaching and they have 30 other kids and they're fucking tired of this, you know, so start whooping ass. That's like saying, well, cops, they have to deal with fucked up people every day. So if they whoop somebody's ass from time to time, it's okay. No. If you feel like that you're so frustrated with your job that you're going to start doing people and disrespecting people or being physical with people, then you probably shouldn't do that job anymore. You're probably not fit for it anymore. So move on from that role and let somebody else come in there that has the time, the patience, and the energy to do so. Yeah. You got love on these fucking kids, man.
Yeah, you do have to love on them, but you know, some kids, they don't want to be loved, but there are people that
who doesn't want to be loved, Carla? Hold on.
I'm saying they when I say that, not they don't want to be loved, but it's hard for them to accept, you know, those type of things when all they're experiencing is hate and abuse when they're at home. So it takes a special type of teacher or individual to be in those kids' life, because a regular teacher is, you know, would get fed up really quick. So they need to get people in school that would specialize in these difficult kids. Like they have the alternative school, like where I used to live at, they have alternative schools. But the only thing that I see with the alternative schools is they send a lot of kids with behavioral problems there, but they don't get they miss out on a lot of academic stuff because they're just focusing on just their behavior only and not like academics. Okay. So yeah, but it takes a very special person to get in there and show love to those kids. And you're right, there should be a balance, but it's, you know,
I think that's one of the factors is school, you know, because they spend a lot of time, you know, you're talking about from kindergarten, preschool, kindergarten, all the way up to 12th grade, right? So you're talking about what, 13 years in school? You're talking about what, 7 hours, maybe 6 hours, 7 hours a day, Monday through Friday, including extracurricular. A lot of our time are in school. Part of why I support teachers and funding and why we're not spending more money in every school. I mean, I know some schools have more money and more funding depending on the neighborhood, but like you said, you know, having more people to support in mental illness, you know, more teachers, the ratio of kids to teachers, you know, more funding for STEM curriculum, and then going outside. So every school should be almost the same, you know. And also, like in Japan, you know, in Japan, elementary school, there's no tests for the kids until they reach middle school, I believe, because that time is teaching those kids to be good citizens or good moral people. So they clean, they feed their own students, you know, they take off their shoes, they're mindful, and they're taught culturally, you know, how to be mindful of other people, other things, and all that. I think that's maybe lacking in our school districts.
You think?
Yeah, yeah,
that's majorly lacking.
Yeah,
that's majorly lacking. We're teaching our kids. We're industrializing our kids, man. We're like literally. Go ahead.
No, they're saying, you know, they teach them to be mindful, and then I think that's what's missing here in the States is like, you know, those years are very important when they're growing to understanding what's right and what's wrong, right? How to line up, you know, simple stuff, how to line up, how to clean, how to do chores, what's the consequences if you don't do chores, you know, stuff like that. And not worry about like who's the smartest, you know. No, it's like being a little person, you know. How's this person going to grow up and be mindful and, you know, and climb and be one with nature and, you know, going out there and, you know, I think we baby our kids. We've been babying our kids for a very long time, you know, and it goes sports. Kellen, you speak on this too.
Definitely sports. Oh my God.
Man, you know, I got a lot of trophies. It's either first or second, or maybe even third, right? I never got like 15th or participation. I never got that.
No.
All my trophies.
You earned those trophies back in the day.
Yeah. But that participation awards though, that's shit that started in fucking suburbia. That shit started. I mean, it did. It started rich ass white families. Their kids go out and they donate money to all the fucking school and they do all the shit. And literally when their kid is not very talented, suddenly it became an issue and it was politicized. And that's when shit changed for that. That didn't start in nobody's hood. That didn't start in you know what I'm saying, little black kids or little Hispanic kids. That started in suburbia, bro. I mean, truly. And that culture got passed on. And even when I was in the military, I thought in the military, coaching kids in the military, I thought it was going to be like, these kids are going to be tough. Like, these are like fucking military kids, right?
Oh,
The softest fucking kids I'd ever been around. The parents, and you know what? I don't even want to put that energy on the kids, because it really ain't the kids' fault. It was the parents, because the same type of shit. Parents coming to you after the game. Well, my kid didn't play this long, or why didn't my kid? And it's like, we did the right thing. We tried to make sure every kid got ample playing time. But guess what? We were also trying to win the game, So there were little times where little Billy didn't get to play 2 additional minutes that maybe somebody else did, because we were actually trying to win the game at the end. So I'd make sure the kids who weren't as good, they got to play a lot at the beginning, because when it came down crunch time, I need my ballers out there. You know what I'm saying? And it was never like unfair. It was never, but I'd have parents coming to me and colonels and shit like that. And they think because they're throwing rank, but I'm like, brother, we outside of the shit right now. This is sports. So Colonel, you can go sit your ass down somewhere, because I'm not going to let you try to bully me or talk to me any which way, because your son's not playing that much. But there is a lot of babying that goes on, but more than anything is we are so, we're trying to be so structured that we're not giving you can't do it all the way for everybody. It's just like discipline, everything else. When you said all the schools need to be the exact same, no, we got to cater to the audience. We got to, whatever your crowd is in that particular area. Every area has different needs. And so you have to find out what the needs are for that area, for those particular kids, and you have to base it off of that. Because what works in Pasadena, California, isn't necessarily going to work in Chicago, Illinois. It's not going to work in Brooklyn, New York. It's not going to work in Miami, Florida. You're going to need different shit, different resources, different kind of tutelage to properly, educate and create good model citizens, if that's what you're really looking to do.
Yeah. Well, at least a standard. Yeah, you're right, man. At least a standard of where to go, and you fix you cater to the needs of the neighborhood. All the kids are there, but yeah, you can't save them all, but we can try. I mean, but I do believe in the school union, the teachers. They need more funding, a lot more funding, and a lot of
absolutely.
And we grew up. A lot of schools that we grew up. I mean, some schools have it more. And I don't know. I mean, I don't know how to fix that, but yeah, there should be it starts at school. I do believe it starts at home, but also it's in school too. We need to support our teachers, whether they need more funding, more volunteers, whatever it is, to help them to help our kids. So, yeah. So I know this is just one of the factors that's ending up in the violence that we have now, but I think that's a step forward if we do pay attention at school. Wow. Hey guys, thanks for joining in. I know James had a few things about it's saving. It's a triage, trying to save one kid and not necessarily neglect the other kid, but it happens. I mean, sometimes these teachers or administrators, they get kids yearly, weekly, monthly, right? And they can only save. Sometimes they don't have enough energy to save everybody. Yeah, you're right. I mean, what do you do? In a perfect world, we want to help every kid, but sometimes it's just some kids just going to fall through the cracks.
He knocked your daughter's teeth. One kid knocked. Wow. Yeah. See.
Where's this at?
I wouldn't be ready for nothing like that. I just would not. I would not. I don't know. I'd probably be in jail somewhere. That's terrible.
Yeah, I mean, bullying. That's another podcast.
I do not like bullying. I never did like bullying, even when I was younger. Like,
did you get bullied? Did you get bullied, Kellen?
Did I get bullied? It's funny. When I went to counseling after my father died, we had long conversations. It was grief counseling that led into life counseling. And at one point in time, we got to talking about shit like that. And I was like, no, I was a popular kid. I was an athlete. Like, never had a problem getting girl, all that shit. But then she said, I was telling her about like things I dealt with at my high school, like racism, right? I was called the nigger regularly. Played other schools, got called nigger in games, monkey, coon, people waving Confederate flags at me at the end of school and shit like that. And she goes, well, then you've been bullied. And I said, what? And I was like, no, I mean, because it wasn't like I was like cowering and scared to go. Like I fought back. I handled my shit. And she's like, no, that's still bullying though, regardless. And I never looked at like racism and things like that. I never viewed it as bullying. You always think of bullying like the little chubby or nerdy kid, you know, he's getting bullied by the jocks and this and that. You know, I had these just rednecks talking fucking reckless shit, but they meant nothing to me. But so yes, I have been, I guess, bullied. I again, there's that connotation with the word bully because you feel weak, you feel like a victim, right? And I never felt weak or I never felt like a victim, but I have experienced it. Yes, for sure. So
I got bullied. I don't know why, man. I just picked on me. 2 people actually, but I fought back, and I had a lot. I played sports, so a lot of friends who supported me, you know, and they said they stopped. I mean, it was like maybe a week or 2 of bullying, and then you know just stopped. But I tried not to fight, but at the end of the day, you know, we weren't fist fighting. We're just like, what do you call that? Wrestling. Oh man, I'm putting a hold and are you gonna quit? Are you gonna quit? And so, yeah, I got bullied, but I like I said, I played sports a lot. I don't know, probably same with Kellen. I had friends who had friends and friends and friends, so I was fortunate that I didn't have to be bullied throughout my whole high school career. How about you, Carla? Or were you the bully? I think you were the bully.
No, I was not the bully, but I was the person that would be ready to fight a bully if they were picking on somebody else.
Bully the bully.
Yeah, it was just like, why are you picking on her? Or, you know, something like that. But I was picked on when I was in elementary school about my complexion, and I didn't like it. Like I didn't embrace my dark complexion until I was like grown.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, and I did get picked on, and it was it was my own race that picked on me about my complexion. But when I started fighting people.
You say fucking people up. When
I started doing that, that's when I got respect. And then now everybody wants to call me mean. I mean, I'm 47 years old and people still call me mean from when I was younger. It's like, wow, y'all still living in my past. But no, I did when I was in elementary school. And by the time I got to high school, you know, because I ran track, I was a athlete too. But by the time I got to high school, my brothers, I had a couple of brothers too that were athletic and, you know, a little bit popular, but I didn't like bullies. When I got to high school, people would bully everybody. I don't like that.
It's funny that, Carla, that's a whole nother topic with the skin complexion amongst the Black community. Because obviously me being light skinned, right? I got shit on for being light skinned. You know what I'm saying? Like, especially when I went to Grambling, you know what I'm saying? Like you were light skinned, you this, you think you that, blah, blah, blah. It's always that narrative that we have in the Black community. And a lot of times, like I never personally took it. I never took it personal. I didn't care, whatever. But I know it's different for everybody, you know? And
the funny part is it wasn't the light skinned people that was picking on me. It was the brown skinned people.
Brown skin.
Like, first of all, y'all just in between and y'all really don't fit. But so it was either you light skin or dark skin.
Yo, and that's how it be though. It is always the ones in the middle. It's the ones motherfucking in the middle. Because it's kind of the same for me. It wasn't like the super dark complected. It was always the brown skin motherfuckers.
Right.
You know, but that alone, and again, that's a whole nother topic. But that is like that comes from like slave mentality, like field slave, house slave. They separated us, and guess what? Yep, and we kept that division. You know, all these years later, and don't even understand that where it was that divide and conquer mentality that the slave masters put upon the slaves, and it still continues today. It's kind of a joke. It's a joke, but there is some realness to it. There is still a little of that apprehension. Oh, you think you too good? You think because you light skinned, you think this and this and this, or you black, you this and this. You know, it's a trip, man. It's a weird.
I would get stuff like, even like being grown, I would get stuff like, "You're cute to be a dark skinned girl." What the fuck? Like, is dark skinned girls not supposed to be cute? Or
That's a backhanded compliment. That's a backhanded compliment.
Exactly.
It happens in Asia. I think they call it the colonizer mentality, you know, that white is beautiful. Asia we're number one in that, you know, too. You know, they think look at all of our celebrities are light skinned, half white, half something else besides Filipino. And those who, you know, they think that the lighter you are, the more beautiful you are, not knowing that, you know, we're more brown. We're actually a more brown or darker brown, actually. Actually, we, you know, Filipinos are actually black. Native Filipinos are black. We're just like the mix of like Spanish, Chinese, Taiwanese, whatever it is, Japanese. But yeah, it happens in Asia. It's the same thing. You know,
And then
that's
like Okinawa too, like
oh yeah,
yeah, Okinawa and
Okinawa.
Tokyo. You have like the darker skinned people in
the lighter.
Okinawa, huh?
Yeah.
They're they're lighter in Tokyo.
Yes.
Yeah.
Way lighter. Yeah. Well, the more Korean Chinese, more, you know what I'm saying? They're really light skin. Anyways, yeah, it's the same thing with all. I think all ethnic, you know, with color, who have any color or brown, it's the lighter skin that gets preference versus like you have some melanin in your color. Like, oh, you've been in the sun too long, you know, or they just pick you over what's beautiful to you, you know,
Mm-hmm.
and they tend to go to the person who's lighter skin. That makes sense. Anyways, well, yeah. So, final word on spank. I think spanking with teachers is a debatable thing. Um, I would say now that you guys kind of changed my mind, I would say no, no spanking at school now. Leave that for the parents.
Yep.
Now, is there a situation where that would be appropriate?
No, I don't have a single situation where somebody from the school would be putting hands on my kid, and I'd be okay with it.
I mean, I remember the one teacher that I think they were in the hallway or something, and I think the kid had a knife or a gun or something like that. I
Yeah.
think that's kind of different. You know, you kind of gotta do that. He said home whippings kept him out of jail.
Yeah, home whoopings. Yeah,
Mhm.
absolutely. Not school whippings.
Not
Right,
school.
not school whippings. No, not at all.
All right. Well, thank you, man. That was a good topic. We can talk more about that in factors of corporal punishment. Yeah, I think we all believe that some form of corporal punishment at home is
Mhm.
appropriate, but not at school. All right, KC, are you ready?
Fuck it, let's get it.
Go, Casey.
All right, on today's episode, or whatever we want to call this segment of Give Me Five. Basically, the thing I really want to hit on is the importance of proper nutrition and just exercise in general. We're at a time, obviously, with COVID and everything. Mental health is very high on everyone's. We've talked about a lot here on the show, but just in general, just in this nation, mental health is a big issue. And there's a lot of people, even before COVID was a thing, they weren't getting a lot of exercise. In fact, Americans, I saw a statistic and it said it was like 70 to 80% of Americans don't get the daily recommended amount of exercise. 70 to 80%. And they were saying, they were attributing this with the fact of why COVID hit America in particular so hard. Like, we've long heard that America is the most obese country in the world. And then again, you know, you saw that's the reason why, like, COVID hit very hard here. A number of people, when they talked about the comorbidities or the what was the underlying health conditions, a lot of times it wasn't something that was mega serious, right? It wasn't always like this person had cancer or some other thing that they're, you know, COPD or something else they're already dying of. A lot of times it was high blood pressure, hypertension, diabetes, and things like that. And these were the underlying conditions. There's many people I know, just in my family alone, who have high blood pressure or have, and they're gonna live normal lives, you know, with medication and whatnot, right? Those aren't the comorbidities that we should be having, or the underlying conditions that we have taking people out. And a lot of that can be fixed with exercise. We have to exercise, and I've talked about it before. And this is today's a reminder: are you drinking the proper amount of water a day? You know, are you drinking? You know, some will tell you drink an ounce of your body weight. That's a lot for a lot of people. But I would just start with a gallon of water, 96 ounces. And I know that sounds like a shit ton of water, because it is. And you will be pissing your brain out when you first start doing it. But it's necessary. It will also help you with your appetite. It'll help you with your metabolism and things like that. And you'll eat less food. But we have to get active. We have to use this time to be active. And I promise you, where that relates to your mental health is the fact that it creates endorphins in your body and you just naturally feel better. There's a lot of days where I get off of work because I work out in the evening time. I go to the gym 5:30, 6 o'clock. And there's a lot of times I get off work and I don't want to go to the gym. But guess what? After I go to the gym and I go in there for an hour and I get out, I feel like a much better human being. And I'm thankful for it. And time again, even as you get older. And there's no time where it's too late to start. Even people in their 50s and 60s and even 70s to start working out. And it's going to drastically improve the way you feel day to day. And I feel like it's so important. And these are just necessary reminders. But don't take my word for it. I mean, obviously, there's many research things out there. There's many studies. And again, it can start with something as simple as going for a walk. It doesn't have to be anything crazy. You don't have to go in there and try to fucking, lift up the world. You can go out, walk your neighborhood, pick a route, map it out in your car, drive a mile and say, or go a half a mile. And you say from here to my house is a half a mile. And you walk that and back and you've got a mile in and say, I'm going to do a mile a day, or I'm going to do 10 miles a week or 20 miles a week or however you want to do that. But do that. Get active. And now is more important than ever. Again, with so many people dealing with so much mental health issues, so much anxiety, so much depression, these things can be helped with simply exercising. And not only will you feel better on the inside, you'll start to feel better and look better on the outside, which will also help you. So it's truly a win-win. A lot of times when people are sad, that's usually one of the first things that goes. People just stop giving a fuck. They stop exercising, they stop eating properly, they stop doing these things. And I guess at the end of the day, I don't want to be taking pills that help me live an extra 15 or 20 years. I want to do the things that are going to help me live a quality life for the next, for an additional 15 or 20 years or however long they may be. It goes well beyond just, I want to look good. It's like, I want to feel good on the outside and on the inside. And the way you do that, it was simply by exercising. So again, this is just a reminder from me, and that's today's Give Me 5.
All right, give it up for Killing, everybody. Yeah, I think especially now during COVID, a lot of people are working out, obviously, because they for a few months they didn't know what they can do. Besides, you can only watch Netflix and Hulu all day. But a lot more people are actually exercising more often. Going outdoors, and you remember in Japan, there was a lot of old people like just walking,
everywhere.
Everywhere. I mean, like they weren't old, man. They weren't just old. They were pretty up there in age, and they're like, I've seen people like they gotta be like in their 70s walking up Mount Fuji. Like it was a
Fuji.
Thing.
The 70s and 80s, the oldest motherfuckers doing Mount Fuji.
Yes. Like it was no thing,
bro. I'm hitting the oxygen can, going up Fuji, and have this little group of old ass fucking people walking, and they go at their own pace, right? They go at a really slow fucking pace, but they're going 12, 13,000 feet up. That's people. We have 20, 30, 40-year-old Americans. There was a group of 20 of us that went to Fuji. Only 8 of us made it to the top, and we were all military. Everybody was uniform military, and only 8 of us made it up to the very top.
Mm-hmm.
But you had these old ass Japanese people who were going up there. And that's no disrespect to old ass Japanese people. I'm just saying, I'm emphasizing the fact that they were elderly and they were climbing Mount Fuji. And that was the dopest shit because their culture, like you said, they move a lot. They walk.
Well, do you remember, it was Yasuka?
Yeah.
Yeah, Purple Lady. She was very, very, very active.
She loved golf. She golfed all the time. Yeah. And that's what happens, man. If you're not active, like you said, Kellen said, just move. Just walk. I think there's a story in National Geographic about this old guy in Italy. I think he was like pushing 82 or 83. Mm-hmm. He walked every day like 5 miles around the little town in Italy. Like he just walks all the time, and that's the key. Like when you get it, even right now, it doesn't matter what age, just be active. Move your limbs. Obviously, you want to do some sweating, some cardio that would help with your oxygen, all that. But at the end of the day, your limbs, it's like what do you call that? The Wolf's Law. If you don't use it, you're gonna lose it.
Yep.
You know?
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. And
That's it.
your bones will be it'll be used to a certain way. And if you start, where it's hard for you to walk from your house to your car. So
Yeah.
I tell my dad, he's 72 years old. He doesn't look like he's 72, but he walks like he's 72 because he's not actively moving his body all the time on a daily basis. So
Yeah, I mean, they talk about I've read these articles. There's a guy. It's I don't even want to lie. Anyway, the point is, he always talks about he's like in his 50s or 60s. He does a lot of his project is like Move Project or some shit. But anyway, he talks about he'll go out like once a week and he'll go sprint. He'll like literally go and sprint, or he'll go jump, or he'll climb a tree, or he'll crawl. He'll do these things because he says, again, what you just said, use it or lose it. If you don't do that, right? If you don't have the ability to get down on your knees and crawl or climb a tree or jump, right? You are the person that one day you bend over to try to tie your shoe, you throw your back out, right?
Mhm.
Because you haven't done these things that we did as children. You haven't kept doing those things. Like when's the last time you like literally went out and just went for a sprint, a short sprint, but you went for a sprint? That's the people that they tear a hamstring or they do something crazy because you haven't done it in forever. You just have not used those parts of your body, and they just begin to get very brittle, and you lose. So that's why I'm really big on that. Just doing things, doing exercise, moving my body in ways, and keeping it, staying consistent with it. Because as we age, it's not that we lose the ability to do those things. We lose the ability to recover from doing those things. I can still go out and hoop and shit. It's just like when I was 20, I could hoop all fucking day and not be sore the next day, right? Now you do it and you're sore. If you continue to do it and you do it regularly enough, you don't get nearly as sore. But the moment you stop doing it, as we age, it just hurts more getting back into it. That's the part that differs. We can do these things well into our latter ages. We just have to keep it and be consistent with it,
Yeah. I think when people they haven't worked out in a long time, they go, "Oh, I'm sore." But yeah, you're gonna be sore.
Right.
In 2 days, you are sore. Like those are the muscles that you never used. You tore it, and once you go back, it'll be stronger. But the point is, you can't stop because you'll continue to have that. If you stop and don't work out those muscles, you're gonna be sore the next 1 or 2 days or 3 days, whatever it is. And so that's just normal.
And you also when you are walking, even if it is just walking, you do have to hydrate. That's what people realize too. A lot of times your soreness is your body's yearning for more hydration. Your muscles, your ligament, your body needs water, right? And when it needs that. Like, and when you start, even when you're like working out, you're lifting and stuff, you gain more density and stuff based upon your water consumption, right? And when you don't have that, your body just like, feed me. Like it needs that water. It needs the proteins. Motherfucker said buy some Tiger Balm. God damn.
I have plenty, but no, that is true because before COVID, I lost so much weight and I was running. I was back to running again and doing stuff. And then I picked up weight again. And what happens? My knees and stuff start, getting bad. But I'm back on it again. And that's something that I told my dad. My dad is 74 and he just completely just kind of gives up. Like he doesn't want to walk. He wants to lay in the bed all day. But then at the same time, your muscles and things like that, your joints that, if you're not using them, they're going to stiffen up. And, so.
Carl said that if the U.S. could finally get past this crippling dependency on nicotine, we'd feel better. And what he's bringing up there is there's things they say sitting is the new smoking. A sedentary lifestyle, which so many people have nowadays, is the new smoking of our generation, right? There are less and less people that smoke than there were before. I mean, vaping and all that shit's a whole different thing. But smokers, there's less and less people smoking. It's been like that for the last 20, 25 years. It's less and less smokers. But sitting, we do a lot of jobs and a lot of things nowadays where we just sit and we sit all fucking day. And you have no idea how bad that is, like on your heart. Because you're at a sitting pace and you sit like this all fucking day. You're not getting up. That's why your resting rate or your sitting rate, your heart, your blood pressure is different depending on the positions that you're in. And sitting is one of the worst. And we have to do better.
Yep. And that we see a lot of people with those, posture, what do you call that? Pain, you know, because they're sitting all day. A lot of people, you know, come on, people playing games. We know people 24 hours, you know, if they're off from school or at work, that's all they do. They won't stop. The only time they stop is to go pee or take shit, you know, and they're sitting
Right.
down in these chairs all day, you know, and so they're getting these back spasms and just postures all whacked out. And so being a massage therapist or just taking care of your body and also just move, like you said, just walk. I like to hike, so I kind of I used to lift weights, but I'm more into like this calisthenics, you know, what it just natural. So my legs are, you know, I feel good with my legs, you know, but and of course your cardio while you're doing out there, like he does. Kelly, you do skiing, right? Snowboarding,
Yeah, snowboarding. Yep.
and that's a good cardio, and that's all upper body, and also your whole body is into it too, you know. But
Yeah.
gotta move. And like our parents, man, I tell my dad, mom and dad all the time, they gotta start walking daily. You know, I
Yeah.
don't care.
Just a little bit. It doesn't have to be anything crazy. That's what I tell people. It doesn't. You don't working out doesn't have to be anything crazy. If you could just give yourself 30 minutes a day, 30 minutes, and you be consistent with it. Not you can't do 30 minutes once a week. It ain't gonna do shit for you. I mean,
Right.
it's
It
true.
feels good when you do it too. It like
Yes.
actually it feels a lot better. It's just getting to do it.
Yep.
You know?
That's it.
D3 says, when was the last time you heard a parent tell their children to go outside?
And play. He said, go outside and play.
When I was little in the 80s.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
I was outside all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You don't see kids like riding their bike a lot, skating and all that stuff. You don't see that.
No, we don't. So. In my neighborhood, there were kids playing all the time when I was young.
Bro, we was out all damn day. Because the street lights came on.
The guy across the street, the kids across the street, they do play basketball. They go outside and they do shoot around. But I don't, you know, they're older though. They're like in their teens.
Yeah, do you see kids playing on the trees? I mean, I used to throw rocks at each other. I used to go on my BMX bike and go in the canyon.
BMX, mongoose.
Yeah, I'd be outside all the time, and I didn't come home until, you know, we call the street light comes on.
Yep. Yeah, I was definitely a tomboy and always out. I have 5 brothers, so I was always just trying to, you know.
You're right. Well, but you know what we do is we cop out and we say, hey, watch this on your iPad. You know, sit there.
Yeah.
Watch Baby Shark. Watch Baby Shark.
It's the worst. It's the worst. Have them watching YouTube and Twitch videos and shit all day.
Oh man, they watch other people play games. Like, what the hell are you watching?
Right.
Yeah, you're right. The people don't drink from water hoses anymore.
Right.
You guys, are you familiar with a squatty potty?
Yes.
Have you used the squatty potty?
I don't have one, but it's one in the house.
I'm telling you right now, I've not ever been very limber human being, right? Like I used to struggle to just bend down and touch my toes. Start using the squatty potty. So Floyd, you might want to invest in one of these. You get it on Amazon, like $20, I don't know. But they're fucking, they have your feet set up high. It looks like a goddamn step stool, but you use it when you're taking a shit. Basically.
Oh, I've seen that.
Yeah. And man, but it's supposed to put you in your natural position that you're supposed to be in when you take a shit, right? Like from back in the day, people squatting down. But man, it helps your hips and your knees so much. Truly. Like it helped because it puts you in this position. And at first, and they have one like a entry level, and then they have a higher one. And but you get to a point where, you know, bending down, touching toes and shit like that becomes way easier because you're getting yourself in this natural position. It's supposed to help you with your bowels too. It's supposed to get like, it helps you get everything out of there. Right. But I'm a firm believer that I keep a squatty potty at the crib. It's
really? My sister has that. I never used it.
Ariel has one.
I should try it.
My friends, they come over and shit and they like step on it and like piss down and they'd be like, dude, is this your step stool so you can piss into the toilet? Like cracking jokes and shit. I'm like, nah, motherfucker, but I bet my hips are limber, bitch.
Oh, got it. Wait, raise your hand. Have you ever used a Japanese toilet?
Yeah, you goddamn right. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Okay, I can see, but if you're not in shape with those knees, it's kind of hard.
Fucking blow a kneecap out in that motherfucker.
You gotta hold
Exactly.
you gotta hold like this, like the fuck.
Mhm.
You gotta tuck your pants into you know what I'm saying? Like, oh my god. Yeah, I tried it. I was scared at first, but I could see it. But you have to be a little bit in shape and limber to be using a Japanese toilet.
Yeah. But see, y'all don't have to do Japanese. Y'all didn't have to do it that much. You know what I mean? Like we
Right.
actually had like girls
Y'all had,
anytime we go, yeah.
yeah,
We
y'all
got
had to do it.
Girls had
yeah.
to do it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we can't stand up and pee.
yeah,
Oh, that's true.
yeah. They got to drop down.
Yeah. Drop low. Drop low.
Oh wow. No, that they were saying the girls that I didn't know that the girls had
They had a
they don't
fucking
sit
hole to
they don't
do the
sit on the
thing.
toilet. They kind of have to like no we like guys we sit on the toilet. We have the sheet right, the little sheet. Girls don't do that. They don't stand on they don't sit on the toilet.
We still use a sheet just in case. You know, you mean the toilet seat cover?
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
I mean, we still use it just in case we fall, but we're not trying to sit on the,
but
toilet wall. We just squatting. We're
Carly,
not
you were
trying
talking about some of those ones though that there's just the hole though, right?
yeah, just the hole in the
Yeah,
bathroom.
Japan has some of those public restrooms. It's just a hole like the women
Yeah.
have.
Oh,
Yeah.
really?
That's what she was referring to. Yeah,
Yeah.
they just have literally a fucking hole
Yes.
Oh,
on the ground. That's it. That's all they got.
Yeah.
really? Like
Yes.
the guys ones it's like it's like a long toilet that's on the ground. Do you know what
Yeah.
I'm talking about? It's on the ground, but it's like long, a little longer, and it had a little
You mean long like this way?
yeah, it's like this long, maybe like this long, and you squat. You have to squat to use the bathroom.
No,
Yours,
it's kind of like it's in the ground, but it's like
oh yeah, ours wasn't. Oh yeah, the men's are like longer because we have to pee too, right?
ooh, yeah.
Yeah, so we have to pee. This I don't know. Anyways, our toilet in the Japan it's on the ground, but it's longer this way, like a
Right.
basin, and then it had a little toilet. I had a flush on the end. Anyways, so I didn't know. I'd never seen the girl ones, Japanese girl ones, but I thought it was the same thing. No,
Mm.
wow, yeah, I never did that. All right, guys, we're going into our last segment here. Pod decks. Pod decks are unique interview questions and episodes starting prompts in the palm of your hand. So whether you're a new podcaster or existing broadcaster, looking to grow your audience or get more engagement, you're going to want to check out poddex.com. Use code right there, HWY54 for 10% off your first order. So our today's category is the hustle. All right. What is the smartest investment you've ever made?
The smartest investment I ever made. Whew.
Mm.
My husband. No, I'm just playing.
um, I would say my DJ equipment. I mean,
Definitely DJ equipment.
yeah, I paid
Definitely.
that. I paid it over 4, 5, 6, 8 times. You know, doing so many gigs. So any of my DJ equipment was the best investment.
Best investment I made, smartest investment, I guess, or hustle. I don't know. I was big on like I wanted to travel, I wanted to see the world, and I didn't really. When I graduated college, I didn't know how to go about doing that necessarily, especially because I was broke. And I joined the military, and joined the military. I got to see a lot of the Pacific and many places and parts of the country that I never in a million years would have imagined myself being. So honestly, for me, it'd be joining the military. That was the smartest or best hustle, however you want to word that, for me at that particular time. And now it's obviously opened me up, and I'm doing those things now on my own. But yeah, I wouldn't have been able to do that had I not joined the military first.
Oh wow, yeah, yeah. I no regrets on joining the military. I've seen, like I said, like Helen. I'm pretty sure with Carla too. I've done things that normal people that we know living in our neighborhoods or in our towns never get to do. So, and we see things, we can speak of that not a lot of people do. Like I've climbed Mount Fuji 5 times, so not that many people even had a chance to be on a plane, right?
Mm.
All right, next question. What consumes your thoughts on a daily basis?
I would say my kid, my daughter,
Yeah.
my family. Yeah.
Arrow. Mm, retirement. Full retirement.
Oh God.
Yeah, because
Think about retired.
Every day, you think about that every day.
I
That's
think so. The reason why, so I told you guys before, I early retired from the Air Force. I was a civilian before I got out.
Mhm.
Um, so my parents are getting old, and a lot of my family, I've had uncles and aunties passing away at this age right now, 60s, 70s, 80s. So um, I think of my family. What my mom and dad set themselves up correctly. But I want them more for them. Obviously, COVID kind of hindered that. But I'm thinking my next 10, 20 years, I'm going to be in the same situation. So what have I done? What do I have? What am I okay in the next 20 years? I don't know.
Right.
And so that's why I think about retirement all the time, because I want to be able. I don't want to be 70 years old and still trying to travel, right? Unless I'm
it,
that 70 or 80-year-old who's climbing Mount Fuji all the time. That's a different story. But I want to be able to enjoy the world at a younger age. So I want to retire earlier than normally. Does it make sense?
yeah. I mean,
Right.
that's why I realize like now being unwed, no kids and shit like that. Like this is my time to take advantage of all that shit, and I'm young and have the energy and shit to do those things. So I try to do that shit as much as I can now, because I can't predict. I'm 30, 40 years from now, I might not be here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I don't get caught up in what I want to do 30 or 40 years from now, because I think about my dad. My dad was 57 years old when he died. You know what I'm saying? We talked about going to the Kentucky Derby when he turned 60. Well, guess what? He didn't make it to that. So it's hard to think about what you want to do 20, 30, 40 years from now for me, whenever you just don't know, So like, I think the thing I think about regularly is like truly like making the most of each day. And sometimes that looks like rest, right? Like sometimes it's like doing nothing and just vegging out and watching a fucking Netflix special, because that's what I truly want to do or enjoy doing that day as I recharge my battery. But more than anything, it's just like living my life to the fullest, like knowing that everything I got in me, like I'm giving it, and I'm putting it out there, and knowing that the people that I'm close to know
Yeah.
that I love them, and that how they, how I feel about them. Like that's the most important thing to me. Like nothing gets left unsaid,
That's true.
Yeah. Yeah, I do get consumed about thinking about my family. Like Dorsey said, making sure that they're safe, and then preparing my daughter in the event of our demise, or something may happen. Um, Preparing her, like I always think, have I prepared her in case something happens to me? So
Right.
that kind of,
Yeah.
Family. Yeah. All the time.
mhm.
Great. What one skill or trait do you feel is imperative to be successful?
Communication.
Agree.
Focusing, networking,
Yeah.
not sweating the small stuff, because sometimes we tend to think about the wrong things. So
I think for me, number one is communication. To master communication. You're feeling. I'll have a lot of stuff in me that just sometimes it's just I don't know how to share. And of course, this podcast is one of the ways I can share. Writing. I'm not a great writer, but I have a lot of stuff in me that I want to share. Sometimes just random theories and questions and solutions. But also just for me, always having the will to learn, personal growth. I used to read a lot, and now I do the audiobooks. I buy the books, but I still do audiobooks. So always learning new things. I think I'll never stop doing that. Just to be successful, you never stop learning. It doesn't matter what age, and so you're always going to learn something new. If you stop learning, then you're dead. To me, like you just gave up on the world. So I think just being able to transcribe your thoughts by communicating and trying to learn as much as you can from everybody else and your environment and what you read. So
Yep.
that's what I think is one to be successful. Cool. Let's see. When you were a kid, the last question here. When you were a kid, what was the first thing you wanted to be when you grew up?
A teacher.
A
And
professional
then after
athlete.
that was like the first thing. And then after that, it was a mortician.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Oh shit, Carla.
Wait,
Yeah.
you wanted to be an actor and what else? Oh, teacher and what else?
A mortician.
What?
Yeah, I wanted to be a mortician up until like graduation.
Why?
Fuck.
What was the story behind that? You have a
Well, I
uncle?
mean, we had in our family. My cousin, he owned a funeral home, and I don't know why I was so into it. And then after watching Reanimator, wanted to be one even more. I don't know if you remember that old movie Reanimator. Was
Yeah, I remember that.
I wanted to be one even more. I don't know why, but for the longest time, I wanted to be a mortician. Then after I had Ariel, I turned into a freaking punk. Like everything like grosses me out now. Like, ew, he's popping a bump. Oh my god, So.
Yeah, I grew up. I wanted to be a professional athlete, and then it was Stuart Scott. Then I wanted to be, like on ESPN, broadcaster, sports broadcaster. And I did end up going to school for
broadcasting.
Broadcasting. But yeah, Stuart Scott was the inspiration for that. When he was on there and he was doing, what you got on my 40, homie, doing lines from Friday. Clowning and shit. I was like, oh, this motherfucker has the best job on earth. He's talking sports and he's using like fucking, just common phrases and shit. Like, I don't know. I thought that was just the dopest shit, man.
Yeah.
Wow. So remember Top Gun?
Yeah.
Yeah. I wanted to be an aviator until the day they said you have to use math a lot. Like, what?
Oh,
I said, no, I'm good. Yeah, I wanted to be a pilot one time, and then another time I wanted to be a BMXer.
Wow.
Break dancer. No. Yeah, but yeah, my first time was I wanted to be a pilot because of Top Gun. And I'm telling you right now, Top Gun's about to come out soon. Supposed to come out last year, but I guess Top Gun 2 is delayed. So yeah, I want to be a pilot. But Pielen, I mean, you're still young. You not technically, you can still be.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. The same thing when he said that. I was thinking the same exact thing.
Yeah, and now my brother, he got really into it, and he actually worked for ESPN. My brother was with ESPN, and honestly, like after hearing his experience there and just kind of how he felt about it's like a big corporate machine, and having worked in a little broadcasting myself, like I realized like it takes a lot of grind to get where you want. I don't know that I have that energy for that anymore. You know what I'm saying? The passion isn't quite there because there's a lot of it's so corporate now. And I think they don't allow you to be, who you want to be and how you want to be. So I don't know. That's I would definitely like to stay in the broadcasting, and that's why we do this podcast. Like this kind of keeps you sharp, and it's kind of good practice for that type of thing. So
exactly. I mean, I know. I don't know if it's a secret, but I know that you announce for baseball.
Yeah. I've been doing high school baseball announcing, and man, baseball is probably my least favorite sport. Like no lie, but man, I've had a fucking blast. Huh? You love baseball?
Yeah. My first sport.
Yeah, dude. It's what I think about Floyd. Every time like I'm calling those kids up to bat, I'm thinking about how would I want the announcer to sound when he's saying my name if I was going up to bat. I played baseball 1 year in 5th grade. I was fucking terrible. In practice, you get me in practice, I was phenomenal. In practice. I was terrified of the ball. And every time we were playing the other team, I'm like, this motherfucker beans me. I got beamed twice. That was enough for me because I realized it wasn't okay for me to go out there and try to fight somebody. So it just baseball wasn't a good sport for me. But man, now when I'm up there, I like to announce those kids and just make them feel special in that moment when they're coming out, and it's a blast. And they asked me if I'll do the football games next year. So I might be doing some football announcing as well. So we'll see.
Oh, wow. Yeah. I love I love baseball. I've always loved baseball. It's my first sport since I was little. T-ball up to high school. Baseball. The only thing is, I think right middle school, 13, 14, I was doing well. I was batting, getting on base. I was a shortstop, second baseman. But after 14, everybody got bigger and
Mhm.
taller, and people were hitting home runs. And I've never hit a home run, but I can get on base though.
Right.
That's the thing for me. I could be a pinch hitter. I can get on base. I was a shortstop. But everybody got bigger, so I just stopped playing it because I just was smaller than everybody else. So, anyways, baseball is my first sport. But yeah, bro, I would love you can even like I think there's someone who does a podcast of a game. What I'm saying live.
Right.
So for high school and college and all that. Anyways, that's something maybe he can do down.
Yeah, I would love to see where this goes, and that's the reason why I'm kind of staying open with it. When they brought up football to me, at first I was like, I got a little apprehensive. I was like, I don't know. I love football, but I didn't know that if I'd want to announce a game. I didn't know I wanted to do it with baseball. Just a buddy of mine, he's the head coach. He asked me if I would do it because he knew I had broadcast experience. And I was like, I've never done it, but we'll give it a go. And after my first time doing it, he's like, yo, we want you to do all our games. I was like, cool. Yeah. And then they approached me later and they're like, hey, football, like they want you to do football now.
Wow.
So I was like, shit. I mean, and it's just like what I was doing radio, bro. I'm not doing anything special. I'm just having fun. Like I'm having fun. It's a fucking blast. And so I appreciate you bringing that up.
Yeah. I saw that. Hey, look, man. I'm not a what do you call it? I'm not a what do you call that? A stalker, but I see people out there.
Yeah, no, it's dope.
Of course, our crew, I like to watch what they're doing and bring up stuff. But yeah, one of the things with sports is it's a lot of stats too. Like if you brought like fun stats, hey, the last time he was on bat, blah 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 blah. Anyways, this adds flavor to it. So
absolutely,
I didn't want to be a broadcast like a sports broadcaster, but I think that's something I could do if I needed to, or if I had a chance to. But yeah, it's pretty fun, man. I think I'm proud of you, man. To keep it going. Like I said, you have that voice and that charisma.
He does, yeah.
It catches on. And as I said, I thought maybe you'd be in radio because we can.
I know.
Yeah. I mean, say even if you just volunteered for any NPR news, I don't know.
Right.
Sports talk, but this is one step for us, bro. So
it is.
We're still young, and we can make things happen as time progresses. All right, guys, man. At first I didn't know we were gonna really fill all the whole 2 hours, but we did. And that's one thing what Kellen brings in, and Carla comes in also, just adding flavor and more insight. I was wishing D3 was gonna be with us today too. He brings a lot of insight for us. But
I'll bring him next week. He's down upstairs.
Oh yeah. I know he was commenting. Guys, thank you so much. We have a lot of people commenting and adding advice, and I love you guys. Stefan, Carl, James, Kim, D3, Mama Penny.
Ariel's watching. Say commenting.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Again, we're on YouTube, Facebook, and soon we'll be on Twitch. So I'm not gonna research Twitch and how to do it, but thank you guys for hanging out. Again, it's a live session here at Highway 54 with Carla and KC, and my name is DJ Kid Mango. Thank you guys. Have a great rest of your Sunday. We'll see you guys next Sunday.
Yeah.